Check one, two. Hey, y'all. How are you? It is a cold Friday morning where I am. And this morning I just had a lot to do and thoughts were going through my mind. And I said, this would be a perfect time for me to make an appearance, make a video, share some of my thoughts because I'm pretty sure other people have my thoughts. And I like to talk about those thoughts and maybe somebody will feel me. So, one of the things that I wanted to say today is first a reminder to have a routine. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to fly by the seat of your pants, hearing the idea of a routine, that can sound boring, it can sound confining. So maybe it's not for you to have a routine. So this is pretty much for people who feel that things are a little chaotic at times, and when things can feel that way with your schedule or with your tasks, the best thing that you could do is find a way to come back to like your center. And for me, that's having a routine. It's having a regimen, or at least starting off with a routine or a regimen, because I can always find myself back to myself from there when things get a little out of hand. So, one of the things that I recommend if you feel you experience too many moments in your life where things are chaotic, they're getting out of hand, your day is getting away from you, you're not accomplishing things that you want to get accomplished, which I am definitely, on board with that. Like I'm in that same boat, is having a routine. So, I had a really great morning routine, and then things kind of changed schedule wise for me. And I've been trying to reseat that morning routine. And what my morning routine consisted of was, first of all, not waking up and accessing my phone, even if that meant silence, if it meant meditation music, or if it meant Bible time, so your spirituality. Um, that was what I would start my morning with. Then, of course, my next step would be to go in the bathroom. And one of the things that I have to stick to and want to stick to when it comes to being in the bathroom, besides brushing your teeth and washing your face, is washing your face for me is skincare regimen. So I use certain skincare products. So it's not just a washcloth and some water and I'm out the door. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If that works for people, it works for people. It's worked for me plenty of times in my life. But I'm at a stage right now where I really want to put a little bit more effort into myself. And part of that is my skincare. And I'm starting to move from just my face to my entire body. So there are other things that I'd love to be doing when it comes to myself in terms of skincare, all over skincare, not just my face. So I like to do my skincare, not just the face wash. So brush my teeth, do my skincare, and take my vitamins. There are health conditions that I have that it is vital for me to take my daily liquid multivitamin, some other supplements of my choosing, and to get my water in first thing in the morning, so things can get going if they need to get going, especially if I have places to be and places to go. I'd like all that stuff to happen before I leave the house, preferably, if you know what I mean. So that kind of sets the start to my day, and it really made me feel good, to see myself do that consistently. Now, constantly would be never skipping a day, always doing it at the same time. And of course, we're not robots, we're not perfect, we're human beings, things happen. You're a little late sometimes, you forget some days, but for the most part, I was very consistent with that routine. And over time, I started to see how that like would define the rest of my day. So when I started to get away from it because of a schedule change early in the morning, I felt the effects of that like almost immediately. And so what I've been trying to do is just reseat where having that regimen consistently would fit back again based on my new morning schedule, my new morning routine. So I said all that to say that whether the routine is in the morning, whether it's midday, whether it's at night, having routines for yourself are helpful because it brings you back to you when the day and things about life start to get a little chaotic and out of control. You don't have to respond in ways towards yourself that aren't self care. You can bring yourself back to what is caring about yourself and then make decisions about what's going on around you. So I wanted to say that first. The second thing that I wanted to get off of my chest, and this is going to be the last thing because I want to try to make my videos, under a certain amount of minutes. I don't want to keep people all day because I definitely can. And I'm going to say that right now. I love to talk. I love to have conversations about meaningful things, helpful things, tips, ways to elevate people, and just like, bring thoughts to your mind that you may not have considered because they may be helpful. I love those kinds of conversations, and I can hold those kind of conversations for like however long it takes if I have time and if the person I'm talking to has time. So I'm going to try to keep these videos under a certain amount of time. But the second thing that I wanted to bring up was this thought that came to my mind this morning, and I hope you guys cannot hear the garbage truck outside because wow. Um, the second thing that came to mind was how we should make sure that we don't allow the missteps and maybe the poor choices that we have made in our life, we don't allow those to dictate us. So it came across my mind that I may have at different times in my life been involved with people that really were no good for me. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. Okay, they weren't any good for me. Might I have not been any good for somebody? Maybe, but we're talking about who wasn't good for me. Okay, so I might have been involved with some people that were not good for me, and I ended up realizing that at some point. Okay, and so what we can tend to do is ruminate about that in a way that beats ourselves up, that makes us feel, I'm just going to use the word that I would feel at times, it make you feel stupid, like, why did I put up with this and why did I tolerate that? And, you kind of feel stupid for doing that. And so what I've been trying to do is change that messaging about mistakes and poor choices in life to it doesn't have to be the outcome does not have to be that you beat yourself up or that you put yourself down for making bad decisions or you call yourself stupid or any of these things or even let anybody else do that, because sometimes when people can see that you're involved in something that's not good for you, and they don't say anything or they're not very helpful or they try to give you like little clues without trying to control your life, sometimes some of those people can also say things later that will make you question, you know whether you are able to come back from that poor choice or that misstep. And so also it's important not to allow people to bring those things up to you so that you can beat yourself up and put yourself down. Don't allow people to do that. Like, listen, at the end of the day, if you learn something from those missteps and those poor choices, that is where the gold is. Okay, now if you didn't learn anything and you just repeated something again, then you're probably going to get a clunk over your head a couple of times before you wake up and catch the lesson. But if you caught the lesson from the mistake, the misstep, or the poor choice, use that to empower yourself, to raise your esteem, and to recognize that your awareness has now given you an experience that you can take going forward and make better choices, to think clearly before you make a decision, to pause and view the layout of the land before you act. Get something from it. Don't just get misery and regret. Get a true lesson from it. So that's all I wanted to share. That was a thought that was on my mind in my morning commute. And I wanted to share that just in case it's helpful for somebody, because we've got to always know that we can overcome things and we can move forward. So that's all I wanted to say to you today. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.